Hi, Tomas here, your speed reading coach. In this video, I'm going to give you my book list. But before we do, let's simply see what should you read and how do you choose out of these many books which ones to read now, which ones not to read, and which are the most important. So if you want to learn more about business, simply Google top business books. If you Google top business books 2015, you can also find something useful. If you want to learn something about relationships, you just Google top relationship books and you're going to find the key ones, the classics. And most of the other books are based on the classics. So if you know these, then when you're reading the other ones, there's only so much that you can take out of them. So I recommend that in the beginning, at least, you read the classics. So starting with the classics and then going for the new ideas. Once you know the classics, for example, if you know the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dale Carnegie, then whenever you're reading something else about leadership, something else about habits, it's going to be a very strong, solid base to have. So the first thing I wanted to say is either go to Wikipedia, look up the 100, I think it's the 100 most important books or something. These are more fiction books, so I don't resonate with them that much. There's some that are brilliant, of course, like, okay, if you read the Bible, you cannot go wrong with reading it. Not saying that there's a little human or a little person up there, but there's so much wisdom in such books. So I think it also deserves some attention, the 100 most important books in Wikipedia. There's a list. Then furthermore, whatever you want to get good at, simply Google the top books. And there's plenty of bloggers who have them written down. And once we have this out of the view, I guess, then I'd like to share also some of my most favorite books. And it's really interesting to see how it progresses. So a few years ago when I first started with audiobooks, I just did random audiobooks. I didn't know what to do. So I did books like The Secret. I did books like, you know, the classics of self-development, basically, Dale Carnegie, etc. And I did plenty of those. And then at some point you see your priorities kind of shift to go to, perhaps you shift to a new paradigm. How you look at things changes a little bit. And then you just start doing different kinds of books. So for example, now I'm more interested in the ancient texts and in the classics even than the, it's nice to know how laughter works and to learn more about laughing, but reading a book about laughing, there's only so much depth to it. However, reading some text that's been really written from someone's depth to express a realization, well, that seems kind of more interesting, at least to me right now. But at the same time, I do read business books, I do read psychology books on occasion, and in balance, in the perfect balance, I would even say. But my top books, here they come, are the number one for me would be the Dow Teaching. And you can click here, it's going to open in a new tab. You can go check out some other favorite books of mine. I put the 20 top favorite of all time books of mine. The top one is definitely the Dow Teaching because it really talks about life. It talks about all those situations you can find in the daily life. And it's been written like 2,500 years ago without really any selfish motive as much as sharing and giving. And in this book, if you read it with no concepts, with no predetermined notions, this book isn't about beliefs at all. It's simply about realizing who you are and then living from that. So the number one for me is the Dow Teaching. Another really brilliant book that I love is an autobiographical novel by a guy called David Data. And the name of the book is Wild Nights. So an intriguing name for a brilliant book. Also more of an esoteric tradition book, but basically modernized to show and share how you can live in this life with people and things happening and having a job while still fully peaceful, happy, and enjoying it to the fullest ability without needing to deny anything. So it's one of those tantric traditions where you're not saying no to things, but you're embracing it and learning how to live consciously with all of that. And then if I had to name the third book, there's been many books that have changed my life in different periods that I was in. I think it would be still A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, which he's also written The Power of Now. They're very similar. And it simply talks about not creating stories from your mind and living with whatever is, fully accepting it, fully embracing it. And that's, I think, the ultimate secret to it all. So I feel like these books are focused on the depth. They're more focused on the depth, focused on what really is. And if you get that, then everything else is complementary. Even some of the people I've worked with, when I recommend them the Dow Teaching, they say, hey, this book alone is worth the whole course. Like whatever I paid for the whole course, I could just pay to learn about this book. It's so, so good. And I have people in my life who are very aware and very knowledgeable that I'm very grateful to know. And that's what they also say as well, that if you only get a book like the Tao Te Ching, if you get, take any ancient text if you prefer, if you really get the Quran or the Bible beyond all the notions and beliefs, what the core essence of it is, then the rest just falls into place. And as Lao Tzu says, correct your mind in the Tao Te Ching, correct your mind and the rest will fall into place. So I think that's really the secret, that's the ultimate secret. Correct your mind, let it flow naturally, and then the rest will fall into place by itself. So there's still plenty of books if you want to excel in any area. Look at the top ones, look at the ones that are recommended by the people in those areas, and learn from them. And if you like to get good at speed reading and learn more in less time, learn all the skills that you like to learn, and even read some ancient texts faster, if that's what you're into, like me, please simply sign up here, and I'm going to speak with you soon. Saying goodbye from Netherlands. Tomas here. Thank you.